What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Tonight I want to talk about something that has nothing to do with fitness. Actually, I guess you consider this some mental health, I guess you consider. So it's still health. I get some gray popping up in my beard over here. We got to cover that shit up. Yeah, we got to dye the beard again. Fuck it, whatever. Anyways, guys. So what I want to talk about is I was talking to my buddy Timmy online. He's actually been a client and a friend for quite a while. And we were talking about just some, personal stuff, and, brings up questions about, past, present, and future. And I was like, you know what? I haven't really done much about this. And I'm trying to word this the right way so everybody understands everything, And I talked about in my Ninth Life video, where the clothing line Ninth Life, where I get the Ninth Life from. And it talks about the multiple lives that you go through and you become someone new. Okay, so if you didn't see that video, what I talked about was you're born, okay? You're born, you're a newborn, okay? Now, before you're born, you're a baby, but you're not a fetus. You're a full-grown baby, but you live this kind of life. It's like a full life from conception to the time when you're born inside the womb. It's basically one life that's in there, right? And then you're born, and you're born as a newborn. And that's a certain life until you get to the point where you're an infant. And when you're an infant, you're no longer a newborn. So that's kind of gone, and that life is gone. You've left it behind. You've become an infant. And then you go from an infant to becoming a toddler. And becoming an infant gets left behind. You're no longer an infant. Now you're a toddler. And from a toddler, you become a child, right? So you're no longer a toddler. You're now a child. The toddler disappears. It's gone. It's in the past. You're no longer that. And then you become a preteen. Then you become a teenager. Then you become an early adult. Then you become an adult. Now, once you get to adulthood, this is where we're talking about today. So the Ninth Life theory is generated off of how we basically use up all of our lives until we get to the point where we're fully aware of who we are, what we're about, and that's the Ninth Life, right? But here's the thing. When you get to that Ninth Life, you have technically left those things in the past, right? But much like everything else that's in the past, right? Think about it like this. When you embark on something new, right? You can't really look at the past and hold on to that. It no longer exists. It's done. It's past. What exists is right now. So what you do is you try to take the lessons from what happened in the past for things that may happen in the future or things that are happening in the present. But you can't linger on the things in the past. And as you become that new person, I looked at it, and I forget where I got this from. It was a doctor, a psychiatrist that I was talking with, and it applies to relationships also, which I thought was really interesting. So we're going to draw the parallels for both of them. So a friend of mine him and his girl were breaking up, and it was amicable. It wasn't, like they hated each other and like that. It was a normal, as amicable as you can have breakup. And they had a bunch of these friends like in common, right? So it was like all these couples, and they were one of the couples as part of those couples. So what they did was, instead of having like an engagement party or like a wedding reception, like stuff you would have, they had a breakup party. And I thought that was interesting. I was like, what the fuck? So what they did was they gathered all their friends together, and they had this, I guess you consider it a party, and said, hey, here's the deal. We're no longer going to be together. We're still friends. We still love each other. We're not compatible. So therefore, as of today, our relationship has died. And I thought that was like groundbreaking to me. I was like, the relationship has died. They're still around, and they'll be starting new relationships, but that relationship no longer exists. It's dead. And that's the way that they wanted people to look at it. Like, they wanted to look at them as individuals that were new and starting these new lives, but the relationship was dead. So therefore, we're going to mourn it right here and now. We're all going to mourn it together. We're going to talk about the times we had together. We're going to cry together. We're going to do all this stuff together so that we can all move forward together as, these two individuals and not a relationship and the other people and the couples. And I thought that was a pretty novel thing. And I said, you know what? And again, this is my counselor telling me this stuff. And it dawned on me, to become the new Jerry, I had to leave the old Jerry behind. But I had to kill off the old Jerry. I had to kill the old Jerry Ward. And, that may, for some people be like really fucking weird. It is next level thinking of shit, because some people can just go about their lives and they don't fucking care. Myself, I hold on to the past a lot, and I let it affect me. Actually, I let it ruin me. If I keep going with it, I'll let it ruin me. So for me, trying to get over the past, I had to find a way that I could really let go of it. Like, it isn't just in the past, it no longer exists at all, which technically it doesn't, right? Because it's in the past. So therefore, you have this thing where you kind of tell yourself, like, look, the old Jerry is gone. The old Jerry is dead. Today, I'm not the same guy. So, yeah, I'm going to miss that guy. I'm going to miss the guy who would fly off the fucking handle and just punch somebody in the face just because. I'm going to miss the guy that would just go to the bar, drink himself silly in the first 20 minutes he was there, and fucking fall down the stairs and go to the next bar. I'm going to miss the guy that would stay out all night and party and fucking hang out and just be a fucking wild man. I'm going to miss the guy that was in the professional wrestling ring, bouncing around and fucking landing on his head. I'm going to miss the guy that, competed in bodybuilding. I'm going to miss the guy that was a physique competitor. I'm going to miss that guy. Each one of those is a different guy, right? I'm going to miss those guys. But those guys are dead. They're no longer here. They're gone. Therefore, spending time mourning them past what I did when I realized that they were gone is not only not effective, but it's not efficient, and it really doesn't help anything, especially your mental well-being. So that's why many times people, we have individuals who think it's funny to call me Junkie Ward or Junkie Jerry. They like to pick at my past because I was addicted to heroin. And they think it's funny. They think it's going to get to me, like, ooh, I'm going to get him. They don't realize that Jerry the Junkie or Junkie Ward or Junkie Jerry, whatever you call me, I killed that motherfucker a long time ago. That motherfucker has been dead for 16 years. Therefore, he no longer exists. So when you call me that, I go, they must have me confused with someone else because that motherfucker is dead. They don't get it. And of course they don't get it because they want to hurt people and they don't understand because mentally they're not evolved, right? They're not fucking, they don't understand. They don't understand how to take their psyche and control their own psyche to get more out of their life and become a better person. They don't know how to leave things behind in the past because they're still talking about stuff that happened to me 20 years ago. It's like you're talking about 20 years ago. What about right now? What about Jerry doing these videos right now? What about Jerry traveling the world, doing what he loves to do, being married to an amazing woman, owning all of his own fucking businesses, and being fucking completely free from anything? What about that Jerry? What about the Jerry that gets to stand face to face like I did this weekend with people that are, I don't want to call them fans. I hate the word fans. People that are followers or supporters of myself, GIFD Labs, BioS 3. What about the fact that I get to meet with those people all the fucking time? Shake their hands, talk to them about real life shit that's going on in their lives. Like, I get to affect people in a positive way. What about that Jerry? Because that Jerry's here now. That Jerry's here right now doing those things. So therefore, that Jerry is the one that's alive. Now, who will Jerry be or what will Jerry be in the future? I don't know. We'll see when it gets there. I didn't even know this would be me. But when the time comes, if this Jerry has to be killed off, so be it. This Jerry will be gone too. But you have to figure out how to balance things like that. You have to understand that sometimes we don't think clearly so that we know what the next steps are. We have to find a way, like we always have to find our own way. We have to find a way, right? And the way that I found my way was killing off the old Jerrys. Now, it just made sense to me because the way that I feel is even the guy who was a heroin addict, that was still a good guy. He did some bad things, but he was still a good guy. I still had good times. I still had good people around me. Bad people too, but so I missed that guy also. We were always going to miss him because it was part of me. It was part of who I was. But he's no longer around. He's dead. And once you kill that person off, you can't go back and become the person because they're dead. See what I mean? So part of the secret of my sobriety and my success, many people over time relapse. I've never had one relapse in my entire life. And I came off heroin and methadone, Suboxone, Oxycontin, Nubain, ketamine, you name it. I came off those drugs without one single relapse, where I was told by my counselors and doctors that that's a normal part of your rehabilitation process and relapse. Never one. You know why? How can you relapse? How can you become that guy again if that guy is dead? Like, I found a way to make myself understand that I can't go back to it because the person's no longer there. If you still have that old person who was a drug addict in your head, in your lifestyle, and you still think like that person, and he's like right under the surface just waiting to pop up, guess what? Yeah, you're going to relapse. You're going to have issues. You may overdose and die. But if the old Jerry who was a junkie is dead, there's no chance of that. So now all I have is just freedom. I have freedom to be myself, the new Jerry. I have freedom to think in terms of the world is my oyster and I have all of this ahead of me, so I have all these opportunities and these spaces to get myself into. That's what I have to look forward to. Not, well, I'm in recovery, so I got to walk the line I don't have to walk any line. That guy's fucking dead. Like, I don't have to walk shit. People, like, when we came out with the Xanax product, XNIX, a sleep product we came out with for Primeval, people actually gave me shit. Like, well, Jerry, you are addicted to drugs. You should know better. That's rude. It's rude. That guy's fucking dead. If someone has a problem with me naming my product that, then too fucking bad. That's on them. It's not on me. I came up with a natural product that would help you sleep, like the anti-anxiety product Xanax. That was the point, to give somebody a natural alternative to call it something similar. That was the whole point. Was it offensive to some people? Fuck, everything's offensive to some people. This fucking beard is offensive to some people. This fucking marker is offensive to some people. Shit, the fact that I'm talking on a camera with sneakers behind me is offensive to somebody somewhere. So you know what? People are going to be offended. That's just fucking how it is. But how you live your life and what you do for you has nothing to do with them. So you focus on you. Now, how do you move forward? You're not going to move forward if you're living in the past. And the future hasn't even happened. Matter of fact, the future may not even happen. You may not even wake up tomorrow morning. So therefore, all you have is the present. So how do you move from the past, live in the present, and hope for the future and look forward to the future? You have to let go of the past, and many of us can't. Many of us just replay shit. It's almost like PTSD. Replay shit over and over and over again in your head. And, it holds you back. It's stifling. It keeps you from being the best that you can be and the best you can be. And in closing, I just want to tell you guys, I want to reach out and tell you guys that I get it, man. We all go through shit. We all go through the same shit. We all go through hard times. We all go through good times. We all have things that we wish we didn't do. We all have things that we wish we did do, or things that we wish we didn't say, or things that we wish we would say or did say or could say. We all go through the same shit. So be aware, guys, if you're having a hard time trying to let go of your past because of something you did, something you saw, something that you feel like you can't get past because of your own personal actions or something like that, maybe it's time you look into killing that old person off. Because if they're truly not there anymore and you've truly changed, because let's face facts, today I'm not the same as I was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I wasn't the same as I was 3 years ago. We're never the same. We grow and we evolve. That's part of being a human being. It's part of this whole experience. And if you can't let that old person go and say, look, I don't even look like I used to, right? So that person, I looked a certain way back in the day. I acted a certain way. I thought a certain way. None of those things are remotely me now. That person is, for all purposes, dead. And when they're dead, they can stay dead. They don't creep back up on you, threatening to fuck your shit up now. So hopefully you guys understand what the fuck I'm talking about. This is some deep shit, but there's some people out there right now that need deep shit. This channel's not just about how to get swole, how to get shredded. Like, that's great. That stuff is awesome, and I love that stuff. But let's face facts. Those are things that we do. It's not who we are. You are not shredded man. You are not jacked man. Those are things that you do. You become the shredded guy because it's fun. You become the big guy because it's fun. But underneath all that muscle and all those cuts is still the real you. And when all the fucking physique is gone, all you're left with is the real you. Now, what that real you is depends on what you want it to be and what you want it to grow into. But it doesn't have to be the old you. And you don't have to let people point at you and judge you for being the old you. The old you is dead. If they want to judge you for being the old you, guess what? They don't know the new you. So therefore, it doesn't fucking matter what they think. They have no idea who the fuck you are. They haven't even met you because they don't know you, because they're still judging you for past shit. So don't worry about what they think, what they say, and what they feel. That shit's on them. You just worry about yourself today and what you're going to do tomorrow, and take care of the people around you and the things that you need to do. And everything, I promise, guys, will work out in the end. You'll be just fine. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStrength.com is a blog. It's just keep doing what you're doing. Buy us up and enjoy yourself. And we're out.